Hello everyone, let's continue from the previous video. Right now in this video we'll be talking about how do we make use the sketch graph over here to solve a given problem. So the typical question, the follow-up question from this typical question is that we instead have, so you already sketched the graph from the previous question, right? Just to recall, the previous question was y, x plus 3, x plus 1, sorry, not x plus 1, x plus 2, and x minus 1, like this. So usually the next typical question is that, for example, so hence solve, let's say fx more than equals 0, for example. So in the case of this, you have to understand first what it means by fx at least 0, visually speaking. Visually speaking, it means the graph on or above the x-axis, right? Which means that we're talking about from here going to this way, right? So these will be our focus of the discussion. Now, whenever you look at the graph given here, where is that happening? This part and this part, isn't it? Right? That's above the x-axis, only on those two sections, which means our answer should be the x in between -3 and -2, and the other one is x at least 1. And of course, if this is without the equal sign, let's say just more than, then this is also will follow, right? So if it's less than, then you just follow from the next question, of course. Now you can do this all over again if, let's say, the question is about less than modulus. If, let's say, the modulus, then you have to put this go back up, and then you have to solve it depending on what the question is. Just some restriction. Typically, if the question looks like this, that you have to sketch on your own in a not given proper grid paper, usually the typical question is about 0. But then, of course, you can also see that there are some cases. Let me just show you through the textbook exercise. Let's say in the 5.4, they make it more complicated here, right? You see that the question is not just at least 0, more than 0, less than 0, and so on, but also involving a number. But fortunately for this kind of question, they already give you a grid paper, which means you can do some estimation. So it's not that really bad. So if, let's say, in the case of this, when is this graph less than equal 0? When is that happening? That means we focus on the below x-axis or on the, so it's on or below, right? On or below, because that will be, there is an equal sign. So that will be starting from here, going to the bottom, so here, and then this part, right? That means for this question A, our answer should be x less than equal -1, and also from 0 until 2. So this will be the answer of question A. Okay, now we're moving on the one with the more than equal 1. More than equal 1 is here. This is the one, right? So let's create a straight line horizontal here. More than equal 1 means at least from the 1 and above, right? From the 1 and above, it means this guy. So, but then when is this happening? So you can't see it properly, right? So that's happening here. So what is the number here? You can't really tell for exact, right? That's why you make some estimation. So here, if you kind of have, it's not like really 2, but it's not like really here anyway also. So you kind of need to do some estimation. Wouldn't be really exact, and it's fine. That's the point of the question anyway. So for example, I say it's about 2. You see that the scale is like there's 5 boxes, right? And this is about 1. So if it's 1 box, that will be 0.2. So this is almost 2.2. Maybe not really 2.2, but probably 2. Let's say 16. Let's say, just taking a guess. So here for the answer will be x at least 2.16. You can have a different answer, 2.17, 2.18, and so on. There is usually some degree of tolerance for that. So the last one, less than or equal -2, which is coming for here. So same thing like before, but here the problem is there you have three intersections. But then the idea is the same. You kind of have to make the estimation once again. So let me erase the other colors and then it's pretty clear for us to do. Okay, so let's do it again for the green one. It will be here. This is mostly this. So you can say this is, yes, negative 1.4. You can say this is 1. And here, this is 1.4. You can probably say the answer will be, because less than negative 2, it means going this way and going this way, right? So x less than equal negative 1.4-ish. And then in between 1 until negative 4. That probably can be the answer, or at least an estimation of to the answer. So that's it. Here we are. Again, to summarize, you can probably have a question like you sketch the graph and then you kind of try to what is it called? Analyze the graph and then solve it. It can be also modulus. That's why you see there is a modulus type of question. There is also the kind of this question that you analyze it, where there's a combination, or there's also another type, like let's say you see the question number 7 over here, and number 8, you have to sketch the graph, but then also then they ask you for the find the algebra, or using the algebra then find the exact coordinates. Now in the case of this, you like it or not, you will have to go back to chapter 4, factors and polynomials, where you learn about factor theorem. So you can use the factor theorem to be able to factorize cubic function. Then you use it to solve the cubic equation after all. That will be part of the discussion in the class or in some other video. So thank you. Hopefully this helps you to make sense of the cubic graphs and then how you sketch and also how you use it to solve a given problem. Thank you.